Hey guys, welcome back to Behind the Apron podcast. I'm your host, Cassie, and this is Reality Check, Please. I want to start off by saying once again, thank you guys so much for joining us back in with all of our reality checks. It's just been so much fun. We are about 48 subscribers from our short term goal, which is 500. Our road to 500 is so close, I can taste it. I'd love to be there before Friday, and I can only do that with your help. So if you love what you watch on today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave. Let us know where you're watching from, whether or not you agree with us on some of our hot takes, and if you enjoy this content. I'd love to get to know you guys. I've had so much fun engaging with you guys in the comments. We are still that small of a podcast where we can afford to respond to a lot of people. I did share this in a different episode that once we hit 500, we will more than likely change the name completely over to Reality Check, Please. This was a food service industry podcast that I ran with my boyfriend. Given that we were in the food service industry for over 10 years, collectively almost 20, and we just had a lot of stories to share, but we've enjoyed doing these reality segments that I think that it's time we kind of just hone in on this niche and keep talking about it and keep ranting, getting to know you guys, sharing our opinion, our unbiased opinion, and just connecting with like-minded people. I want to get into today's episode. We will be talking about some of the interviews that Seeley has been doing since leaving the villa. And at the end, I want to touch on a little shady video that Noah, Huda's baby daddy, has shared to TikTok and some of the responses he's giving to these haters in the comments. We have seen Chris on the Vile Files, on I think Access Hollywood, and on the So Bad It's Good with Ryan. So Good It's Bad. So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. I always get that wrong. Kind of like Homeless Not Toothless on Housewives of Beverly Hills. Regardless, we are going to get into all of that today. It has been a day. Happy Wednesday, and let's get into it. One of the major things that Chris was criticized for this season, and probably one of the only things he could have been criticized, was when he did not carry Huda out of the water after their date. I think that Manny even clocked it. He says Chris did almost everything right this season, and one small thing like this is going to be what kind of gave everyone a bad taste in their mouth when it came to him. I could not agree more, but part of me also understands why he didn't do it, especially his explanation as to why he didn't do it since leaving the villa and coming on these interviews. Several people have asked him time and time again, what really happened. He had already shared with Huda that he was interested in continuing this relationship outside of the villa to see where it could possibly go. She then somehow on that date gave a list of reasons as to why she didn't want to or why she didn't like him or things about him that she didn't like. He then kind of started questioning the entire thing. That is when he kind of pressured her or kind of gave her the space to break up with him. That is why he kept saying, like, I know you want to say it, just go ahead and do it. I know you have something on your mind, just go ahead and say it. A lot of people thought he didn't want to look like the bad guy, so he was letting her break up with him. But since leaving the villa and clearing that up, it kind of makes sense. We have all also watched Huda go off on Jeremiah in the speakeasy after their recoupling. So for me, it's very believable to hear Chris say that Huda listed all these things that she did not like about him because she kind of went off on Jeremiah in the same way, said similar things, and we actually caught that on camera. Ryan jokes around and says, have any celebrities slid in your DMs? And Chris says, no, blah, blah, blah. Then Ryan says, do you think it's because you did not carry Huda on that date? Again, Chris stays quiet. Ryan then asks him, do you think that if you could go back and do anything differently, you would? And Chris says no. That was mind blowing to me because I get it. You're going to stand 10 toes on business on that. But at the same time, I don't know. I respect that he is standing on business in that. Do you guys think that if you were in Chris's position, seeing kind of the hate that he got online, would you go back and do it if you were in his shoes? Leave it in the comments. I probably also wouldn't have. I think I would have stood on that and said I would not change and I wouldn't change a thing. So yeah, what do you guys think? I thought that was one of the mind-blowing things to hear. Ryan then asks Chris, would you do any other game show? And Chris says Love Island Games. When he says this and when he talks about wanting to be a scripted actor, a model, and wanting to leave basketball, part of me thinks that he was kind of performative and maybe not in it for the right reasons and not so genuine of his reasoning being on Love Island. That's my opinion. Sometimes I feel like I can't get a read on him and whether or not he was genuine when he says things like this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments because that one is a little sus to me. And let me know if you were Chris and if you had the opportunity to go back and change anything of that final date, if you would. Moving on, I want to get into the TikTok that Noah, Huda's baby daddy, shared on his TikTok about 2 days ago. Here it is.
Oh, I won't do that. Apologizing is for the weak and wrong, which is why you should do it to me because you are weak and wrong and you dance badly.
He then responds these funny responses on his TikTok. Someone says, guys, not everything is about Huda. He then responded, just let them. They start school soon, so it'll die down. This is kind of giving a nod to all the Huda defenders, Huda fans, being kids in high school, being really young and immature. So he's clocking what we are all clocking at the same time, that all these fans have to be in their teens. Someone said, your replies never miss. He said, light skins never miss. Someone else said, hashtag believe women. He responded blindly. That is another nod to the fact that Huda's defenders are going to such lengths in the sense of they are willing to believe anything that comes out of this woman's mouth. I think that there is a way that you can be a fan of someone, a reality TV personality, someone like Huda or Jeremiah or Amaya, you can back them up and be 10 toes down for them when they make great choices, when they're thriving. But if they were to do something questionable, I think it'd be perfectly fine for us to kind of criticize them, not in a bad way, but kind of just be like, whoa, didn't appreciate that. Or, hey, I think you could have been wrong. You could have handled the situation a lot differently. But a lot of these Huda defenders will make up excuses the same way Huda does, just so that they could prove that she's in the right every single time. She's not perfect. She's imperfect. And the fact that these Huda defenders cannot see that, it just screams high school. So what are your thoughts in the comments? Noah, in fact, never misses with his responses. Are you guys team Huda, team Chris, team Noah, or team Huda? Because I have been getting eaten alive. Like my TikTok comments are absolute war zones. When Chris responded to Huda on TikTok and made like this tribute to his daughter, I was literally getting eaten alive by the Huda defenders, by all the Huda felons in my comments saying, oh, he's not going to pick you. He's never going to pick you. You're such a pick me. And just the most stupid and absurd shit. So it is so refreshing to come on YouTube and have like-minded people and people who are not 12 arguing with me in my comments. So I appreciate every single one of you for having a great head on your shoulders and being nothing like the little digital demons on TikTok. We will catch you guys in the next one. Happy Wednesday.